Okay, thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this Java Exploration 2020. Give applause. It's so great to see everyone in here all over the world. My name is Lika, and it's a pleasure for me to be the host for this prestigious event. On behalf of Maulana Malik Ibrahim Islamic University, I would like to welcome all of you who are taking your time for this event. Ladies and gentlemen, the theme for this session is about women empowerment within Muslim community in Indonesia. We hope that the program that have been lined up for you will be very beneficial and fruitful for you. Ladies and gentlemen, before we come to the main session for the presentation, I would like to introduce our special guest today. Our presenter, our speaker has been coming today. Thank you to Ibu Dr. Istiada. Give applause to Ibu Dr. Istiada. And we also would like to say thank you to someone that is very important to make this program happen. That is, I would like to say thank you to the Vice Rector for International Affairs, Dr. Uril Barudin. Thank you to Dr. Uril Barudin. Ladies and gentlemen, before we come to the main session, let's try to re-energize ourselves by looking at the beauty of traditional dance from Aceh, Indonesia. This traditional dance reflects about the courage and the gut of Acehese women, how they survive in their life. And in this occasion, this dance will be performed by Sanggar Sri Kandi Dance, that is the students of Maulana Malik Ibrahim State Islamic University, Malang. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rato Jaro Dance. Assalamualaikum. Kami ucapkan ke Bandung Rakan Jame Bantekan. Assalamualaikum. Bo Intan Bule Lon memberi salam Tuare lingkar karena salam Nabi kan sunnah jarota mumat syarat mulia. Assalamualaikum jame barotro tameng japio uatetika karena salam Nabi kan sunnah jaro tameman syarat mulia.
Kasep kapot angin digles sinan padetan merasa kasep kagrop hai bohate hanco hate dalam dada kasep kapot angin digles sinan padetan merasa kasep kagrop hai bohate hanco hate dalam dada kasep kapot angin digles sinan padetan merasa kasep kagrop hai bohate hanco hate dalam dada. Hai ku tiding lang handing hem inhala matua ola ilala taja uge taja okaye hana inong babungong jempa tinggal peredai tempat lentre la ila ilala hewa si he inhala matua ola ilala taja uge taja okaye hana inong babungong jempa tinggal peredai tempat lentre. Ila aksa ila lembak ma ailon kapai di ektren lamu bura hai baju tak salah labun kensa lalon salamu lam ok awai di gata lam perahu raya labukan sabang kapatah tiang tamengku alahai manione gaseh dengan me sayang wahecut abang be muayan ila otsa ila lombat mah ailon kapai di ektren lamu bura hai bacutak salah labun kansa lalon salamu lam ok awai di gata lam perahu raya labukan sabang kapatah tiang tamengku alahai manione gaseh dengan me sayang wahecut abang be muayan ila atsa he 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 tu jala he indi ngalahai ning wajah eha la
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give big applause to Rato Jaro Dance. Ladies and gentlemen, now it is my pleasure to invite the Rector of Maulana Malik Ibrahim State Islamic University to deliver his opening speech. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Rector of Maulana Malik Ibrahim State Islamic University, Professor Dr. Abdul Haris.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful, all praise be to Allah, Lord of the universe. Salawat and salam be to the Messenger of Allah, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the last prophet, his family and his followers. Excellency leaders of university, faculties, department, unit, and all staff, distinguished guests, invited speakers, and students from many parts of the world. Dear ladies and gentlemen, Alhamdulillah, blessing to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for bringing all of us to be here in Zoom meeting of Maulana Malik Ibrahim State Islamic University, Malang, attending a very prestigious meeting that is Western Australia East Java University Consortium with a topic on women empowerment within Muslim community in Indonesia. On behalf of this university, let me express our sincere and deep thanks to International Affairs Office with Maulana Malik Ibrahim Malang and all communities for a very good cooperation that makes this happen possible. To all delegates and participants, especially those coming from various areas, I also would like to thank you all as you have spent your time and energy to attend this conference. Dear ladies and gentlemen, this event is to be held not without reasons. As an Islamic higher education institution focuses on their main duties such as teaching or educating, research and community service, as the conventionally called Tridharma Perguruan Tinggi. This activity is useful for exchanging cultures and experience among other international students during COVID-19 pandemic. Maulana Malik Ibrahim State Islamic University, as member of the Western Australia East Java University Consortium, is confident that this program will achieve its state goal. This program aims to erect the multicultural understanding of international students by exploring East Java online seminar and virtual city tour to several interesting places in East Java. The online seminar in this program consists of 10 topics that discuss local language, women empowerment, smart cities, mental health, startup, and et al. The choice of offering the program is Java exploration, is that the participant will get earning credit as well international conference certificate and social and cultural. Besides, you will enjoy Indonesia traditional dance performance for Sanggar Serikandi, the student from our university. Above all, we expect that this international conference will produce implementive recommendations that can be used and basis to create an everlasting peace for all human beings in the universe. Facing Basmalah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I officially open this program. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you to the Rector of Maulana Malik Ibrahim State Islamic University, Professor Dr. Abdul Haris. Ladies and gentlemen, now we come to the main session in which you will learn a lot about women empowerment in Muslim community in Indonesia. And in this session, we have invited two outstanding experts that will discuss from different perspectives. And ladies and gentlemen, if we talk about expert, I'm very happy to introduce one or the first speaker in this evening. The first speaker in this evening is the PhD candidate from Queensland University of Technology, Australia. And she has lots of researches about women empowerment and children protection. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Ulfa Muhayani.
Thank you very much, Bulika. Hello everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, I think this is my honor to have a very first session on this program. Ulfa Muhayani, actually lecturer in Islamic University of State Islamic University of Malang. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Ulfa is in Queensland now. Hello.
Yeah. Anyone can hear me?
Yes, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, before Ms. Ulfa Muhayani will deliver her presentation, if you have any question, please write your questions in the chat box. Thank you.
Thank you, Bulika. Hello everyone, once again, I'm Ulfa. I'm actually lecturer in State Islamic University of Malang, but I'm currently taking my PhD in Queensland University of Technology, Australia. And now in my time in Brisbane is 9:30. It's late, already night, and just want to share before I'm continue my presentation. I'm going to present the woman empowerment within Islamic community in Indonesia. Anyone, is my voice clear, or anyone can hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Thank you. Okay, I would like to share my screen here. Oh, sorry. It was like, where is my slide? I am prepared. Okay, wait a second. So you can see my slide now. Now, what I'm going to discuss this afternoon through this session, I'm going to elaborate how is the condition of women Muslim in Indonesia as a brief introduction to how is the condition and how is the status, how is the pictures of women Muslim in Indonesia. Then the second session will be delivered by my beloved colleague, Dr. Istiada, and she will talk a lot about the programs, about the issues in women development in Indonesia. I'm going to ask you a question. If you want to just respond to my question, you can just unmute your mic, and then we can have like two direction rather than I'm just talking monologue. Then I'm happy to have a dialogue during the session. When you heard the word Islam, what is coming to your head? Anyone can answer? Anyone having a response on that? When you first heard about the word Islam or Islam and woman Islam, what is coming to your head? Anyone?
Me, maybe, miss.
Yes.
Women Muslim is the community of religions who are pretending to be their realistic and what they can to be.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Anyone? Nope. Okay, then. Just want to go to the next slide. Here, I'm going to discuss about.
Want to see your slide?
Sorry? Am I mute? No? Okay. Now, I'm going to discuss about Islam in Indonesia first, then how is Islam or woman according to Islam, and also I'm going to discuss about Muslim women in Indonesia, and also some issues on women Islam. And in the end of the session, I will ask you to have a response and to have like a feedback on what is actually before you have this session, and after you have this session, on what is in your mind about the woman Muslim in Indonesia. Now I'm going to just showing the video here.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, you can hear my voice?
I think we cannot see your PowerPoint presentation.
Oh, really?
I mean, at least for me, I don't know for the others.
Oh, you still can? Okay, I'll just say I'll stop first, then I will say it again. Sorry. Just trying to. Now you can see?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Okay, you can see?
Yes,
no,
ma'am.
Yes, I can see.
Okay, I'll start from the beginning. Sorry. Okay, just repeat one more. I'm going to discuss about women Muslim in Indonesia and how are they, how is the picture, how is the condition, how is the status, and then the next the session will be like the brief discussion about Islam in general in Indonesia. Then how is Islam looks the woman, how is what is woman according to Islam, and Muslim woman specifically in Indonesia. Then we also discuss about some issues on Muslim and Islam. And in the end of the session, I'm going to ask you about your feedback for the session. What is the before you have the session and after you have the session, what is something that new for you and something that you understand about Muslim women in Indonesia. Now I'm going to play a video about about one of the picture of Muslim woman in Indonesia.
No voice.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah? You can't hear the voice?
Is it just me or there's no sound in the video?
I don't know. I
there's
think
no
I have sound here.
So I'm in here, ma'am. I can't hear the voice.
Yep, I cannot hear the voice either.
Okay, that's one. I think I just wanted the picture. But you can still hear my voice, right?
Yes, ma'am.
This is actually the fashion show in Jakarta. And see, I just stopped the video here. Okay, this is the fashion show in Jakarta. The fashion show is dedicated to women, Muslim in Indonesia. What I'm going to tell you here is we have this kind of picture of Muslim woman in Indonesia. So when I travel and visit many people, and when I wear my hijab, then they start asking, where are you from? And I'm saying Indonesia, and people are thinking that women Muslim covering their heads are not educated, in a very bad condition. They cannot do anything they will want because the patriarchy or the society doesn't allow them to do anything what they want. But here the picture is I'm taking from YouTube, one of the fashion show held in Jakarta about Muslim fashion. And what is the picture here tells us is the woman Muslim in Indonesia showing their existence in the public in terms of even freely they can walk in front of the many people, including male. It's not only female audience, but including male. This is public. So this is one of the pictures that women in Indonesia is actually, some of them are very well educated and they are very modern. They live in a city, they access to different kind of the social media, and also they also influence, and also they influence the public. They also participating in a very open public space. So this one of the picture of one of the picture of Muslim woman in Indonesia. Now, one thing that I'm going to tell you here also is, if we are going to understand Muslim, we have to understand also the society around the woman itself. So the experiences of Muslim women are very widely between and within different society. At the same time, they adhere to Islam is share a factor that affect their life to a varying degrees and give them a common identity that may serve to bridge the wide cultural, social, and economic differences between them. So if we want to understand Muslim woman, it cannot stand that woman and Muslim, woman and Islam itself, but also their identity, their condition, their pictures is influenced not only by Islamic teaching, but also by society around them, by the culture that influenced them. So how is Muslim woman in Indonesia be influenced? One thing, look, here is the map of Indonesia. We have a big island here. You look, here is Sumatra. We have Kalimantan. We have Sulawesi here, which is close to Philippines, and also the summer part of the Kalimantan island belongs to Malaysia. And also we have here Sumatra, and we have under here is the Central Java. Jakarta is the city of the capital city of Indonesia here. Okay. The fashion show is held in Jakarta. If you want to look at the Indonesia, we also look the Jakarta, because the Jakarta is the miniature of Indonesia, because people are very diverse. Everyone are coming from different places of Indonesia. Now, what this map tell us about Indonesia? Indonesia is very diverse. You know, now we discuss about East Java. East Java is just like here, the yellow here, the small one. Okay. Today we only discuss about East Java, and it takes you like weeks, and it takes you like 3 hours a day to discuss about one part of Indonesia. Well, we are going to discuss the whole picture of Indonesian woman Muslim. Then we have to look at the diversity of Indonesia. Now, this diversity of Indonesia influence women. It's not only Islamic teaching influence women, but also the diversity of Indonesia influence women. So how is the woman look like? How are they? How this condition? It influenced by different things. It's not only their Islamic teaching, but also the cultural, the geographical things in Indonesia. Now, here's the profile of a country of Indonesia. It was in 70th of August 1945, Indonesia got independence. And if you know, Indonesia is home for 264 million people. You can imagine, it's a big numbers. Big, huge number of people living in Indonesia. The people, this coming from around 300 different ethnic groups who speak 100 indigenous languages. So I'm from Java, I speak Javanese, and if you find friends here and from East Java, then they speak Sundanese, and you will learn about Maduris in the next days, in a few next days. Then that's part of the diversity, how we speak local language. And not the important thing is you have to understand that Indonesian is democratic countries. Indonesian is Islamic-based countries. Okay, so but we have a huge number of Muslim people here. Indonesia based on Pancasila and also Bhinneka Tunggal Ika. What is Pancasila here means that Indonesia is based on one God, and obviously Indonesia only recognizes 6 religions, including Islam. Now, 88.2% of the total population in Indonesia is Muslim. You know the number, the whole population is 263 million people, and 88.2% of the total population is Muslim. But remember, Indonesia is not Muslim country. It's not Islamic States country, Islamic-based country, but it's democratic. Okay. Why understand this is very important? Because this influence the way Muslim in Indonesia embrace Islam. Because the diversity on the influence of the many things in Indonesia influence the way we perceive Islam and the way we're showing Islam to the world. Okay. And this large number imply that approximately 13% of total number of Muslims in the world live in Indonesia. Again, I already discussed that Indonesia is the Muslim majority population, but one more, the country does not constitute a Muslim or Islamic country, both Islamic law. Okay, here. Okay. When we look at Muslim women in Indonesia here, they influence by themselves, themselves condition, their education, okay, their ethnicity, and also their gender, their race, their disability, their condition influence the way they are becoming a Muslim. Then another thing, in the microsystem, women also influenced by their family, by their husband, by their children, parents, neighbors. Okay? Apart from that, Muslim women also influenced, not directly, but influenced by the larger system. We call it meso system, which is women pengajian group. Pengajian group is very popular in Indonesia. There's like small group. They learn about pengajian, about Islamic, and social media influence a lot to women. Values, cultural, different people are also influence women. And the microsystem. This microsystem include all the aspects of the society, like economic system, political system, education system, laws, and cultural values. So Muslim women here in Indonesia influenced by themselves, the condition, and also the microsystem, the family, the husband, the children, neighbors, and also the wider system, social media, other groups, other group which is formed by themselves, and also the microsystem, the Indonesian system, the economic system, the political system. So this make the Indonesian look like we have 1,000 faces of Indonesian woman Muslim. Okay, I'll give you here a clue. When you look at the woman, you have this name. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 name. This is Indonesian woman's name. I want one participant to just pronounce one of the name. I ask Risandi, can you the green one? Mention the name. Yes.
Okay. Hanin Raihana Shahira.
Okay, I will ask Lilian Ade here, or someone want to try to pronounce the name here, the yellow one.
Hello? Yes. Okay. The yellow one.
The yellow one, okay.
It's Davina Nur Latifah.
Okay, it's quite easy, right? How about the blue one? Anyone? Konosuke, want to try?
Yeah. Kinan Narendra Pratama.
Okay. This one? Anyone? Isa, Narita, you want to try?
Yeah. Juzu Hiraya atau
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. This is Indonesian name. Through this name, we can see how is the diversity of Muslim women in Indonesia by looking at their names. Look, Hanin Raihana Shahira. I think Indonesian people are very creative in creating their daughter's name. We have Hanin here. Hanin is Arabic words. Raihana is also Arabic word. Sahira is also Arabic here. But we have here Gita Gayati Rahmania. The word is we cannot find any name, any Arabic names, Gita and Gayatri. These are Hinduist name. Hindus. And we have Davina, Hairani, Hermawan here. We have Hermawan here. This is a Javanese name. So the woman Muslim in Indonesia, or woman girls, are influenced by many things. One is their religion. The sign is they adopted Arabic names. At the same time, they also adopted foreign names like Gita Gayatri. And also they have like Hermawan, the local name, like Javanese names. This is how, through their names, we can see the diversity of women in Indonesia. See, this is the pictures of women. Okay. This is woman Muslim in Indonesia. All picture are taking, I took all the picture from social media. Does anyone wants to tell what is, when you see this picture, what is come in your mind? Monica?
May I answer?
Yeah.
So in my opinion, I think there's this shift of value from the Indonesian women, because when I see the old women pictures, we see like the old-fashioned way, but when we see the younger generation, we see more fashions and more colors, and I think it is a proof of women empowerment in fashion.
Yeah. I agree with that, and that's very good response. Yeah. Anyone wants to have a say on that?
May I answer?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, I think I have the same opinion with the girl before next to me. So because these pictures symbolize how women in Indonesia have the creativity to create the fashion that match with their cultures, with their community. So people will not try to avoid us immediately because we have the same colors, same characters with other fashions that everyone out there wearing. So it's very meaningful, and it's something that really relatable with the women empowerment in this era.
Yeah. Thank you very much. This is a very nice response. Yeah. Just want to show here that when we come up with the Muslim woman, and then we see that women are very uneducated, they staying at home, they can go to school, but this picture tells difference, right? So it's not only the fashion. Fashion is just one of the way of expression of the women and the girls of Muslim. They look. I'm not going to share. There is a differences between the older generation and the younger generation, but overall they are all in public. If you see the picture, are all in public. Okay, where they take the picture, on the street, on the public. It's not at home. Okay, what it tells us? It tells us that they can see, they can even express themselves freely in the public, even on the street. Look, they also can use anything they want. Look, they use shoes, brand shoes and bag. I think it's very expensive, and also girl here using like sport style. But at the same time, you also found a girl who covered their face. So there is the diversity. If you look at the woman Muslim in Indonesia, it's not the singles. It's a very diverse. It's a very multi. Okay, this is one of the example. Yeah. Here we have different style of hijab. Here's the picture of Ibu Yeni Wahid. She is the daughter of our former president, and she is very famous and very prominent, and she influenced a lot of women in Indonesia. She is now become the chair of one of the airlines state owned, and she talked in an international conference. She initiated a lot of women development in Indonesia, and she is a woman. Okay. Now, it's the picture of the current a woman condition right now. But in the last, we have the history of also the prominent Muslim woman who also initiate the development of the Indonesia. Before we got the independence in 1994, in 1945, we have like in 1904, there is Sakola Istri established, initiated, founded by Dewi Sartika. It's a woman who founded a school for women. It was like 100 years ago. And also we have here, 1912, Sunting Melayu newspaper is initiated, founded by Rohana Kudus. She is a Muslim woman who was the first woman journalist. We have here, Denanyar Pesantren, or we call it, Pondok Pesantren began a class for small number of young women. So even within Islamic education institution, they start thinking about educated women. They start small class for women. So they initiated to educate women. So the woman empowerment, woman development is just begun 10 or 30 or 70 years ago. It's not only happened today. It was 10 years ago. The woman in Indonesia, woman Muslim Indonesia initiated to develop, initiated to educated women, initiated to advocate women. And the ones who were very famous, 1921 is when Raden Ajeng Kartini was born, and she is nationalist movement and woman emancipation. It's not, she initiated school. She initiated to educate, initiated to educate women. It's not only educated women, but she also one of the nationalist movement. When we are under Dutch colonialism, Kartini is one of the heroine who fight for independence through the educated woman. So the woman in Indonesia also plays a lot of role even before the Independence Day, and also continue to after Independence Day. And we go Independence Day in 1945. Here's the picture. Here's the Dewi Sartika, as I mentioned before. She set up a school for women in 1904, and we still have her school right now. Here's Kartini School. Remember, look, the picture of woman here. So if you can compare to your country history, how actually women start to be educated, we start early 1904. And this is one Kartini school established to educated women in Indonesia. Okay, here is a picture of women held a congress nationally. And we have a different woman sitting here on the table. We have women without covering her head. And also we found also woman covering her head. This is the symbol of they are Muslim. I don't know the religion of this woman. But one important thing here, women Muslim Indonesia are, since the beginning, they influence, they are developed, they educated, they influence the life of this country. Okay. Now, I'm going to look at how is actually Islam teach how to be a Muslim or Muslimah. Muslim refers to man Muslim. Okay. Muslimah refers to woman Muslim. Clear, guys? Both Muslim and Muslimah have the obligation to 5 pillars of Islam. One is Shahada. Shahada is means that they believe that God is and Muhammad is the messengers, etc. And also both Muslim and Muslimah have performed salah. This is the obligation. Islam didn't differentiate between man and woman. All Muslim and Muslimah have the same obligation within Islamic teaching. Okay, I want to make it clear. They are both having similar, same obligation within Islam. No differentiate. They have shahadah, they have to do salah, they have to do fasting, they also have to give charity or zakat. And also they have to go to Makkah to perform Hajj. So one thing, both Muslim and Muslimah have no difference in the way Islam teach them. Okay, here's one of the teaching in Islam. In education here, seeking knowledge, it is one of the hardest. Seeking knowledge was the religion duty, binding upon every Muslim man and woman. So all Muslim, all the religion teach us to seek education. So there is no mean that say, girl are not allowed to go to school. That's not based on Islamic teaching. Girls are having a duty, a religious duty binding upon them, seeking knowledge. So when you find girls and they say that girl cannot to school, cannot pursuing their PhD, no, it's not. It's based on Islamic teaching. And the economy, look, women are allowed to work in Islam. Okay, and also women have political rights since the beginning under Islam, under Islamic teaching. And you see, property right. Even Islam 67 granting the property right women when other group of people are not allowed women to have a property, but Islam since the beginning allowed them to have a property right. This is very important because property right is very important. This is one of the right. This is it's actually basic right to have right on our own property. Well, sometimes we cannot find in any other society. In a religion, as I said in the previous slide, that Muslim or Muslim women have the same obligation as men. In art and music, I saw you in the beginning, art and music, we can see, we can dance, even the opening of this session are opened by traditional dance and all performed by women. So this is the condition this is how Islam look at the Muslimah. Again, because yes.
Ubu Ulfa, thank you so much for the nice presentation. I'm really sorry to tell you that time is up.
Yeah, this is my last slide.
Okay.
Okay, but we still have issue. We still have, like I said, girls are not allowed to go to school. We have a child marriage. Still have that kind of issue. We have women violence and radicalism in Islam. And we still have the issue of healthcare access to contraception among women. We also still have underrepresentative in the politics. And also we have a limitation on women and economic activity. I think this is the last time. Thank you very much. If you have any question, we can have a discussion in the end of the session. Thank you, Bulika.
Thank you so much. Give a big applause to Ms. Ulfa Mulhayani. Thank you, Ibu Ulfa Mulhayani, and wish you great luck in Brisbane.
Thank you.
And now we come to the second session that will talk about women empowerment in Muslim community in Indonesia that will be presented by our second expert. And I'm very pleased to announce about our second presenter today. She is not only the head of Center of Gender and Child Studies, but she is also the expert and has lots of projects to solve the problems about women and child abuse. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Istiada.
Thank you very much. I'd like to say that it is a great honor for me to be here, to be part of this community, because this is my second time, Bufa.
Third time, I think.
Our paper in this community. I think I'd like to continue Bu Ulfa's presentation about Muslim women, Muslim empowerment in Indonesia. I'd like to give a bit background about women empowerment in Indonesia. If we talk about women empowerment in Indonesia, of course, we cannot stay away from New Order. It is why I'd like to start with New Order. Would you please share my PowerPoint presentation? The community, please. Okay. Is there anyone who knows about New Order in Indonesia? When did it start? Hello, anyone?
Yes, hello.
Hello, is there anyone who can answer my question? Yeah.
May I answer the question?
As you know that we've been in New Order era, started from 1966. Until 1998. Yeah, so this is very long regime because it is 32 years. Yeah. So I'd like to talk about this to give you a background knowledge about what happened in Indonesia. And I'd like to continue Bu Ulfa's presentation that actually Muslim woman in Indonesia has 1,000 faces. So it is not monolithic. So we cannot talk about one Muslim woman or one strategy to empower Muslim women in Indonesia. If we talk about New Order, then we should talk about the focus of the regime. The regime focused on social integration and economic stability under a centralized state. And the regime tightly repressed and controlled lives of Indonesian citizens under the rationale that this would lead rapid economic growth. This is according to Robinson and Hadith 2004. Next slide. Yeah. And the regime also introduced dual roles of women. Is there any Indonesian here? Have you heard about peran ganda wanita? Yep. If you are Indonesian, maybe you have heard about that because I know that you are millennial students. So maybe you were born on 1990s. Maybe some of you know about New Order and you understand about the dual role of women. Okay, basically the dual role of women, that woman has two roles. The first role is the main role. The main role is as wife. The duties are serving their husband and giving birth, raising children, and managing chores. And there is also an additional role. This is a public role. Principally, you are members of this community and you must support your husband. Yep. And you have also duty to maintain traditions and culture. This is in accordance with the marriage law, number 1, 1974. It is why the experts say that the regime adopted the concept of kodrat or natural law to emphasize the natural and biological role of woman. This is according to Susan Blackburn, 2004. And Yulia Suryakusuma said that it is a state of Ibuism. Excuse me. And then the regime also established organization for civil servant's wife, known as Dharma Wanita, and also woman membership. Yeah, if you are a member of the society, automatically you become a member of Family Welfare Group or PKK. Both of them emphasize the role of Ibu and the role of husband supporters. Now, we come to Reformation Era. If you know, the Reformation Era happened in 1998. This is the fall of Suharto's power. People say that Indonesia experienced a dramatic shift with a move toward a democratic and decentralized system of governance. What does it imply? It is good and it gives a strong impetus to women's rights activists and their advocacy effort. I'd like to talk about this more because this is very important, yeah, especially if it comes to the issue of women's violence or violence against women. Yeah, in the Reformation era, people say that Indonesia become more democratic and more Islamic. Yeah, what is the proof that Indonesia is now more Islamic? You can see now public expression of Islamic identity becomes more obvious. There are now more popular films. It is very easy to find people wearing headscarf in Indonesia. As Bu Ulfa has shown you a picture that in the first Congress, there were very few women wearing veils or hijab. But nowadays, it is just the opposite, that you cannot find, almost none of women in Indonesia who do not wear a scarf or veil in the public life. And now it has become very easy to find films and also novels that the theme is about Islam. Is there anyone knows about ayat-ayat cinta or ketika cinta bertasbih? And there are also popular stories for children with Islamic theme. Islamic banks is everywhere. Almost all of banks in Indonesia has Islamic brands like BCA Syariah and so on. Yeah. Okay, next, Pak Gali. Yeah, I'd like to talk about what happened in the latest situation. Sadly, David Bushier said that now Indonesia is less democratic and less pluralist, less cosmopolitan compared to 1998. So the first stage of Reformation era, there is a big shift, but after that, 20 years of Reformation, it becomes different. Yep. David Bushier say that pluralism and inclusivity that Jokowi once exposed are a thing of the past, as he has repeatedly compromised with his enemies, leading him to adopt an increasingly narrow and xenophobic agenda. Yep, we will test whether this hypothesis is true or not. Okay, so I'd like to test to use the issues of gender inequality in 3 areas. Next, Pak Gali. Yeah, the 3 areas that I would like to look at, the first one is about women education and woman workforce. Yeah. Please show us the chart, Pak Gali. Yep. I'd like to look at the gap or gender gap between education and labor force. Yep. Nowadays, we can see, next, after this, 2 slides. I'd like to show the chart. Yep, after this, one more. Yeah, okay. The gender gap, yeah, women's education. Look at the chart. Yep, nowadays that women's education is higher than men, especially in the lower part of education. Yep. But what happened to labor force? That women's labor force participation is always lower than men's. Yep. It is why some experts say that this is the reason that competitiveness and efficiency of Indonesian labor market being ranked at the bottom. Yep. So I'll say that women have the potential to make greater contribution to Indonesian economy, but it is not the case. Next, Pak Gali. I'd like to show you about maternal mortality. In Indonesia, and especially East Java, maternal mortality rate is always high. Yeah. Although it also reduced, but it is higher again now. From medical perspective, the cause of maternal mortality is bleeding, hypertension, and infection. But this is not real reason. People found that there are some non-medical reasons. What is not non-medical reason? The fact that woman is not the decision maker for their own body. Even she earns more money. Even she has higher education than the husband, but the decision maker is always the husband. And even in some part of our society, this is the extended family, like the mother or mother-in-law will take a decision. What happened then? Very often, that woman becomes uncontrollable. Yep. For example, she is bleeding, and then she must wait for the husband decision. And then when the husband has the decision, the woman has already died. Okay. Next, I'd like to show you about violence against women. And I want to discuss about this in more broader context because it becomes a hot debate nowadays. Yep, according to our statistic, that the number of violence against women is increasing. Even the Komnas Perempuan said that the number is very high. In a day, there are 35 women become victims of violence, and 8 of them becomes a victim of rape. Next. It is why study value champions say that Indonesia is ranked the second most dangerous country for women in the Asia Pacific region. Next. Yeah, look at this. That 42.7% of girls become a victim of violence. 34.4% become victims of sexual violence. Yeah. And 1946 become victims of physical violence. Who are the doers? Most of them are the partners, yeah, or pacar. Yeah, in Indonesia we call pacar. Next, I want to show you the latest issue about this. Next, Pak Kali. I want to show the data from 2020. Look at that. The form of violence against women from January to May to 2020. Physical violence, 35%, sexual violence, 29%, psychological, the first one is psychological violence, sexual violence, physical violence, and economic violence. Okay, next. Okay, now, I want to show you how the government tackle this and also how our society look at this issue and then try to find a way out. I'd like to say that Reformation Era, there is a big step, because the Ministry for Women become the Ministry of Women's Empowerment, started from 2000. And before that, there is also establishment of National Commission for Women, or we call it Komnas Perempuan, in October 1998 by President B.J. Habibie. And the reason why there was a big push from the society to establish this National Commission for Women was because there was a riot. If you still remember that 1998 is the fall of the presidency of Suharto, and there was a big riot and women become victims of mass rape at that time. It is why the society pushed the government to take action. And then President Habibie established the National Commission for Women. And was it successful in abolishing violence against women? This is a big question that we should answer, and I will talk about it later. Okay, and there was also a presidential decree on gender mainstreaming. It is the decree of President Abdurrahman Wahid, number 9, 2000. Next. Okay. Now, further, in Reformation Era, there is also a national strategy for accelerating gender mainstreaming. We call it Stranas PUG. It was published, Joint Circular Letter, or National Strategy for Accelerating Gender Mainstreaming. It was issued by 3 ministries: Minister of National Development Planning, or Bappenas, and Ministry for Finance, Kemenkeu, Ministry for Home Affairs, and of course it is supported by or sponsored by the Ministry of Women Empowerment. Okay, next. What happened after this? The government also issued Anugerah Parahita Eka Praya, or Gender Mainstreaming Award. I think this is a big shift, and it is also a must for every leaders of a district to mainstream gender equality. And then it was evaluated by the Ministry of Women's Empowerment. So there are some leaders who are very concerned about this, who becomes more aware about that. Before, they don't care about gender issues, but after there is Anugerah Parahita Eka Praya, which is announced by the government, and usually the one who gave the award is the vice president. So some leaders become aware about the importance of gender mainstreaming. Okay, the government honors the award to ministers or institutions. So it's not only minister, but also institutions that have shown a commitment to mainstream gender equality and empowerment of women into their programs, activities, created innovation in the implementation of gender equality, and assist on gender mainstreaming. Okay, next. I want to take an example. This is the Ministry of Religious Affairs. People, I think, want to know what the Ministry of Religious Affairs do to respond to this. Ministry of Religious Affairs has a decree number 571/2020 concerning gender mainstreaming working group. This is just now, I think, a month ago. And also there is a decree from Directorate General of Islamic Education number 5494/2019 concerning about the prevention and overcoming the sexual violence in Islamic religious colleges. And the gender mainstreaming becomes the one which is supported by PSKA or Center of Women Empowerment, and we have 58 centers in Indonesia because we have 58 Islamic colleges in Indonesia. Next, and the Ministry of Religious Affairs also supports the institution to have nursery room. So, for example, in Maulana Malik Ibrahim Malang, we have 11 nursery room, and we have also daycare facility. Yep. And the most important for that the composition of gender budget statement is all the first echelon unit in the Ministry of Religious Affairs. In fact, today, this morning, we have 2-day seminar on PPRG, for the echelon 1 in Ministry of Religious Affairs. Next. Yeah, so I can say that in Indonesia, gender mainstreaming is yes, but gender inequality is no or not yet. Why I say not yet? Because we cannot pass our gender equality bill or KKG, Keadilan and Kesetaraan Gender proposal was not successful to announce yet. Okay, next. And also because patriarchy is still very dominant, I think. In fact, my data about maternal mortality shows that patriarchy is very hard still in Indonesia. Now, we talk about, this is the last one. I'd like to talk about the draft of anti-sexual violence bill, which is actually initiated very early of Reformation Era in 1998, but until now, this is still not successful. Even we have very hot debate on it. Next. Yep. I'd like to show you. Yeah, who does what? Yeah, actually, so many women's organizations want to end sexual violence against women and children. Look at that. Women's organization which support, like Fatayat Nahdlatul Ulama. Yeah, this is a very strong supporter for RUU PKS, and also Aisyah. Aisyah has advocacy in Muhammadiyah for the adoption of internal policy to condemn polygamy and female circumcision, and also dissemination of Islamic principle of sakinah, that's harmonious family life. Next, but what happened? Look at this. The anti-sexual violence law was excluded from the parliament priority in 2020. Of course, this is very sad for women activists and feminists in Indonesia because we have been struggling for long time, 20 years, but we cannot, success in doing this. Look at that. Who are the opponents? I'd like to show you that Islam or Muslim community is not monolithic. In fact, our affirmation for 30% of women in parliaments also become boomerang for our own struggle, because the opponent of the anti-sexual violence law, one of them is members of parliament Prosperous Justice Party or PKS. They oppose because they say that it is not Islamic, it promotes zina, promotes LGBT, and so on. So this is very problematic. We need to talk about that in very detail so that we can understand to each other. And also there is Alia Alliance, Alia Family Lovers or Family Alliance. This is a conservative group which always oppose to pass the anti-sexual violence law. Okay, so I'd like to conclude with the hope, yeah? I think what David Busher in the first slide that I show you, in some part he is right, yeah? But now I'd like to give you a new hope that we have KUPI. KUPI is Congress of Women Muslim Scholars. First Congress was held in 2017 in Kebon Jambu, and it is supported by men. So we call it now new men, yeah, laki-laki baru, which always become supporters of women empowerment in Indonesia. Some of the kiais that I can mention, like Kiai Hussein Muhammad, Marzuki Wahid, Fakihuddin Abdul Qadir, who now struggling very hard to introduce mubadalah, kesalingan, or reciprocity, what is that? Yeah. Reciprocal relationship between husband and wife in our community. I'd like to conclude with quote from Nisa, Eva Khairun Nisa, 2019, who said that KUPI, with its symbolic preferences, has strengthened the voice of civil Islam in Indonesia. KUPI has productively generated global attention due to its progressive emphasis that women can be ulama, the Muslim scholars. However, there are other women's voice of Islam and gender that are robust, particularly due to their rigorous use of information and communication technology at the same time. This might be seen as promoting conservatism. So I will end there and let's start our discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Ibu Istiada and Bu Ulfa Mulhayani. Ladies and gentlemen, now we come to the questions from the chat box. We have lots and lots of questions from all of you. It means that all of you are very attracted and interested in this project. So give one big applause to Dr. Istiada and Bu Ulfa Mulhayani. Ladies and gentlemen, there are two questions that we try to pick up in this session. The first question is from Patrick Mendones, and this question goes to Ms. Ulfa Mulhayani. The question is that we know that Indonesia is very active in empowering women, especially in Muslim community in Indonesia, especially in terms of wearing Muslim clothes. But on the other hand, we see that Indonesia is also a very active country who always sends representatives to any beauty contest in international levels. That is an indication that by joining that competition, they have to wear bikini. So what is your opinion about it? That in one case, we have to promote about Muslim empowerment, women Muslim empowerment in terms of clothes. But on the other occasions, Indonesia is also very active to send beauty contests in international level. Please, Ibu Ulfa, your time is 5 minutes starting from now.
Okay. I think the beauty pageant or beauty contest, even it is international. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think beauty contest or beauty pageant or is even it is internationally or locally or nationally, is always having the controversy around them. I think one of the big protests against beauty contests in Indonesia is coming from religion group. And also some of the feminists are opposing, or they don't agree with this kind of contest. One thing we may happy because we promoting women to be involved in any event, even it is beauty contest in the world. But at the same time, we also feel like they're really empowered by following that kind of contest. So there is always, if we are thinking about women empowerment, we are thinking about feminism or gender or anything, we have to really dig. We have like onion. We have to like having the several layers to understand that kind of condition. In one side, we happy because we're promoting women into actively participate in any event, even sport, beauty contest, or other event. But at the same time, they're really empowered by pushing or by letting them to be involved in that kind of situation. That's why we always having like controversy and discussion around them. And how is the conclusion? There is never a conclusion about that, because everyone has different idea on that. If you're asking for the woman, if it is you really having the consent, I mean, you freely to choose that you really wants to participate in that contest, and no one force you to follow or to participate in that contest, it means that you empowered. But once you've been pushing, not only by somebody else, but also by society, by the big industry of the cosmetic or fashion or anything, you're not empowered. So we have to look at these things very carefully if we're discussing about women empowerment actually. And that's why one thing that I described in my session, that women are influenced by many different things. Micro within ourselves, we influenced by how we look like, our gender, our ethnicity, our language, and also other circle, parents, husband, our education system, our neighbors, our social media, and a big system. We are influenced by the country. How is the education? How is the economic system? How is the political system? Influence the way women perceive themselves or embrace themselves, embrace Islam. I mean, express themselves to the public. Like for example, so that's why I'm telling you that we have 1,000 faces of Indonesian women. So we cannot. But one thing is, under Indonesian government system, women are allowing to participate in the public. They have very obligation for them to go to school, to have education. This is their right, at the same their obligation. Within Islam or under Islam itself, women encouraged to be active Muslim, to embrace Islam, to seek knowledge, to participate in the economy. You are allowed to have right in the political. You have to be voted and you have to vote. So under this kind of system, the big system, women are in a very good system. But at the different layer, they influenced by their husband, they influenced by ethnicity, they influenced by their society. We still can find any society that's not allowed women to go to school, or not allow women to like, for example, working. So if we want to discuss about women and woman position or woman empowerment, we have to look at the different layers of this kind of influence them. So yeah, we cannot solve in one session or whatever. Even we cannot solve in one book. Many books are written, many articles are written about women empowerment, especially women empowerment in Indonesia. And but one thing, we have the system, Indonesian system, allowing women to be very independent, to be educated, to participate in either political, economic, business, society, social, and even religion. At the same time, Islam also allow women to participate actively in any part of the society. So that's what my answer. Thank you, Bulika.
Question goes to Dr. Istiada. The question comes from Mark Lauren from Philippines. What he asks is, how do Muslim women face patriarchal belief in society?
Okay, thank you, Bulika. This is very good question, yeah. Although this is hard question, yeah. This is our homework, yeah, I think. So the patriarchal system is still very strong in Indonesia. I think we need to be very patient. So women activists need to be very patient to handle this issue, because I think patriarchy is always everywhere. Although this is very modern state, there is always patriarchy in it. So I think how to promote gender equality is very important. Although gender itself become very problematic term in Indonesia, so it is why some people try to find another term for gender. Some Islamic prominent scholars try to produce knowledge, yeah, which is not Western-based knowledge, because some people is very suspicious with Western. Western term is always become a threat for conservative group. It is why we need to stay away from that term to find the term that all of us Indonesian can accept, I think, things like that. What else, Bu Lika? Is there any?
Okay, thank you, Bu Dr. Istiada, for the answer. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's give big applause to Ms. Ulfa Muhayani and Dr. Istiada. Ladies and gentlemen, by the end of those two questions, it will be the end up of the sessions for this evening. I want to say thank you. And please remember that tomorrow you still have another program that will be held tomorrow. And before we close the program for this evening, let's have photo session. Please turn on your video. We want to take a picture for all of you. We will give you signs. Okay, everyone is ready. Turn on the video, pop up your face, your gorgeous face. We'd like to take a picture from all of you. Okay, everyone is ready. Okay, everyone has popped up your face. Very good. Okay, I'd like to give signal. I will count up to 3. Ready? Okay, everyone, please pop up your face in the video. Okay. Next slide. Okay, everyone, not finished yet. Smile, please. So cheers. Yes, next slide, please. The next slide can be your face, so please stand by in your video. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming to this presentation. See you tomorrow and goodbye. Good evening, everyone.
Okay, goodbye.